sport mode is a beast. Holy. Yeah, man. Here we go. Hey guys, Two Wheel Ton back at you. Taking a little cruise in the countryside. It's nice out. It's a little overcast, but I don't really care. It's actually really nice. It's supposed to be super hot and muggy today, but it feels great. It feels a little damp, but it feels good for riding. So I thought I would maybe do a little video talking about some of my history and what I've ridden and whatnot. Just, I don't know. So here's the deal. We can talk about this in the comments if you like. I'm gonna name drop a few dudes here, and there's some really super popular motovloggers, and that I'm subscribed to, and hundreds of thousands of other guys are subscribed to. And I will admit, like, many of their videos are very entertaining and pretty cool. I didn't necessarily get into doing this for any kind of monetary gain. I don't feel like I'm gonna blow up on YouTube and make it my living or whatever. I don't necessarily feel that way. I definitely, I think it's fun, and I want to know that people are watching the videos, and I'd like, participate with people, and eventually I would love to do some sort of meetup. I would love to have a series called Pipes and Bikes, and meet up with dudes that smoke pipes. That'll be something that we'll have to talk about in another video. But anyway, so what I want to talk about is, like, these guys, I was watching them. I assume it's a lot of younger people watching them. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Even though I know everybody in, like, mid-30s, it's that dude in his mid-30s. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, and if you watched my other video, or I don't know, I guess on several videos I mentioned it, I got my first bike at 5 years old. So that prompts me to think, okay, so these other dudes like Welterific and Chase on Two Wheels, which he does like a ton of reviews about a lot of stuff, Motonosity, 6'4" Honda, guys like this, I don't know. I mean, really, the Chase on Two Wheels is more the one that I would think, this applies to. Where while I'm watching them, I kind of start thinking, why am I valuing their opinion, and how much of what they're saying am I actually valuing? Because I don't know anything about them. I don't know their background. I don't know what, I don't know if they have raced, World Superbike circuit or motocross or whatever it is, or if they just started riding 3 weeks ago. I don't know that. And the difference in experience there can say a lot. So this, hopefully this isn't too controversial of a video, but I'm not trying to say anything against any of those dudes. I'm just bringing up a point that I sort of question what's going on. I do that in a lot of areas in life. So I thought that in case anybody else was doing that questioning about me, I would kind of go over it. So yeah, started at 5 years old, Honda 50Z. That thing was awesome, super fun. My dad built training wheels and put it on the thing, and I was I don't know, I was pretty scared of it for a while. I remember though the first time, it's a 3-speed sequential gearbox, no clutch, and I remember the first time I got it into third and I came tearing through the yard, because the thing would do probably like 35 or something, maybe it would go up to 40 or something at full throttle in third. So I would come tearing through, and I was like excited. I was like, finally I got the balls to get this into third, and I'm gonna rip by Dad and show him, wow, yeah, end of the world. And I go flying by him, and my dad loses it. Oh, get out of third gear, Jesus Christ, slow down. Just starts laughing at me. Well, yelling at me, really, not laughing. I hope he laughed about it later. But yeah, he chewed me out on that one. But anyway, so rode around on that thing. My father and I didn't always have the most awesome relationship, so there's a lot of experience that he had that he wanted me to get. But anyway, he did a lot of different types of racing, hill climb, motocross. I think he did flat track and ice track for a while. He did a lot of hill climbing when I was a kid. But I didn't get to do that stuff because of the situation, I would say. I know if you were to ask him now, he'd say, well, if you would have said or something, you know. It's easy to say after the fact, you know, of course, whatever. But the situation was not totally awesome, so I just didn't end up doing it. But I do remember we had I think it was a 1972 Penton 125 dirt bike. It was actually a 6 days trials bike. That thing is really cool. So I spent some time on that. It was in the period of Penton where before KTM really started and like Penton turned into KTM. So it said KTM on the back of the seat, but it had Penton on the gas tank. And it was old like fiberglass green tank. It was fiberglass or plastic. And had a brown leather strap up the middle of it to hold the tank in. Had this little tiny headlight on there because it was the 6 days trials bike, man. Giant air-cooled head on the top of it, 125 two-stroke. This thing was pretty cool. I'm gonna check if there's some trees that I'm looking for around here. Checking out the trees, man. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's a little birdie buddy. I don't mean to scare you, birdie buddy. I'll turn this machine off. Look at that little birdie buddy. Do you see him? Oh, little birdie. Hi, little birdie buddy. I don't mean to scare you. It must be a baby. Just wash this thing. I shouldn't be tearing it around. The heck, man? What the heck's wrong with me? So I tore around on that Penton for a while. And my dad always had like at least probably 6 bikes. 6 or 7 bikes around. It's always something to ride. So then at like 12 or 13, I think, maybe 13, maybe 14, I don't know, I got my first street bike, which was a 1980 Yamaha 400 Special. That thing was pretty awesome. That thing, I mean, at that time, I thought that was like awesome. I basically rode that for quite a while. It was a tough thing. Like I said, wasn't the greatest of relationships. So, you know, I was young and I couldn't always take it out anywhere. My dad would jump on one of the old Ducatis, like the 250 single, and I remember that was really fun. He'd say, oh, let's drive over to this town. And I was kind of scared, but, you know, he's like, just follow me and, you know, don't do anything stupid. Let's go on over there. And we'd just take back roads, and he and I would cruise there. This is before I even had a car license. We'd cruise to another town and go eat something or whatever and cruise back home. Awesome. Like, that's really cool, awesome memories. Another thing we can almost talk about in another video is riding styles. My dad always rode like side by side. He always encouraged me to do that and got me to ride that way all the time. If I try to pull up on dudes now, or I mean, there's not a lot of guys that I trust that way, but if I try to pull up and ride side by side with guys now, like they're like, whoa, you know, oh, what are you doing? Dangerous. But all growing up, that's the way my dad and I always rode. We'd ride side by side right in the same lane. So I ended up riding that Yamaha for quite a few years. I still own it to this day. And I don't really ride it anymore. It just kind of sits in my garage. But yeah, so we kind of had a falling out here and there, and I got focused on other things. In my late teenage years, I was really focused into cars, and I went so far as to build an engine. I helped a buddy of mine build an engine or two, and so we built some V8s basically from scratch, just bare blocks and boxes of parts, and into running machines. And we were into going to Sturgis and stuff for a while after we got licenses and started driving cars, but we were building motors and driving cars out to Sturgis. So the first year we went to Sturgis, I think we were both 17, and we went out there in a Monte Carlo that we built an engine for. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So long ways from home, and in a power plant that we can only, damn, that was a loud friggin' truck. So in a power plant that we can only look to ourselves for if something goes wrong. But it was good. We didn't have no breakdowns. It was fun. And then, so I ended up, you know, even after I moved out of the house, I didn't have my own bike really, because I just kind of left, and I didn't get my Yamaha from my dad until probably early 20s. And I don't know, then I had that for a while, but it wasn't long after that it inspired me, you know, to get something new. Now, in between there, I rode other people's bikes and did different things quite a bit. So I rode a 70s KZ 900 for quite a while. Actually, I never fully got my motorcycle license until, I'm going to just say screw this, because that's never going to change. Alright, so anyway, I didn't get my license till I was probably 20 or 21, and I took the license test on the 70s KZ 900, and I did pass it my first time. So anyway, yeah, so I'd spent a lot of time on that thing, on other people's dirt bikes or enduros. Honda 200 Enduro, the thing was gutless. Spent some time on a Sportster, a 1200 Sportster. That thing was fun at the time. I've been on a Road King, and then eventually, like when I felt like I wanted, you know, a new bike or whatever, something bigger than the 400, and I got a 2006 Suzuki SV1000S, and the whole reason why I got that actually is it's a big bore twin, the 1000 twin, and it's 90 degree like a Ducati is, and so it's the closest thing I could do to Ducati like bike or power plant when I couldn't afford a Ducati. And I really loved that bike. I bought it brand new, got a really good deal on it. Bought it in 2007 as a holdover, and that bike was excellent. So the number one thing I can say about that machine, very reliable bike, very reliable. I went to Canada and back on that bike all by myself, and I basically just rode to Canada and rode around. The thing never gave me an ounce of trouble ever in any way. So it was awesome. The thing has definitely got a lot of power too. I mean, it was like 120 horse, 125 horse. I had pipes on it and some other stuff, and probably 450 pounds wet So not bad. It moved for sure. A lot of the reason why I ended up getting a different bike is because I was ready for something slower than that and in a better riding position. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell my experience, and you know, you can take that for whatever you want. I've ridden a few other different kinds of bikes over the years, and maybe I'll mention, I probably forgot some. I mentioned once before Hayabusa. I don't know, there's just been a lot of different stuff, different dirt bikes and different things. You didn't think I was going to lay down for that Harley, did you? That didn't even take much. Anyhow, guys, yeah, so in a nutshell, that's kind of my experience. A lot of miles on the road, a lot of miles on gravel, quite a few miles in the woods, and it's only going to increase, I think, now with the addition of the Scrambler. So yeah, hopefully you guys keep following me. Be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, that freaking guy got me because I'm behind a slow ass Escalade. What the hell, man? Speed limit's 45, pal. Alright. Follow me on Instagram, 2 Wheel Ton. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.